Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Stephen Curry drops emotional truth bomb on possible end of Big Three. The Golden State Warriors' rocky season ended with a palpable thud on Tuesday night in a 119-94 play-in tournament loss to the rival Sacramento Kings. Instead of living to play another day before what would have been a highly anticipated potential first-round matchup with the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Dubs have gone home early, suddenly facing an extended offseason marked by franchise-altering questions that have already proven impossible to ignore. Klay Thompson's disastrous performance against the Kings only added more attention to post-game queries about his future in Golden State. The impending free agent didn't take the podium at Golden One Center, but Stephen Curry made a convincing case for Thompson to remain the Bay for him. Asked about the possible end of his legendary tenure alongside Thompson and Draymond Green, the greatest player in franchise history made abundantly clear what he expects to happen come July. "I can never see myself not with those two guys. I understand this league changes and there's so many things that go into it," Curry said, per Ben Golliver of The Washington Post. "I know they want to win and I want to win. That's all I'm worried about." With the exception of Moses Moody and perhaps Brandon Podziemski, not a single player on the Warriors roster played the way they wanted with the season on the line. There's no denying Thompson had it worst, though, missing all 10 of his shots while failing to get the free throw line in his first scoreless performance his rookie season. The 34-year-old forced up bad misses throughout the game and was the victim of multiple blowbys on the other end, arguably the worst game of his career playing out just as bad as the box score suggested. Thompson has been living for moments like Tuesday's game for the majority of his time in the NBA, almost always rising to the occasion. He fell deep under it against the Kings, a depressing reality made all the more fraught considering this could mark the last game he plays in a Warriors uniform. Thompson has long maintained that he wants to stay in Golden State. Steve Kerr and Draymond Green followed Curry by staunchly advocating for his return, too. Did Curry address the elephant in the arena with his fellow Splash brother as Sacramento salted away its blowout victory late in the fourth quarter, though? The Dubs franchise player was far more interested in ensuring Thompson knew just how much the latter's stoicism during an up-and-down season meant to he and his teammates. "I know everybody was gonna try to connect that, but it's about the sense of pride and I think just commending him on a hell of a year," Curry replied when asked if he and Thompson discussed the future. "Everybody's gonna talk about one game and I know he wanted to play better, but we go through so much over 82 games and the fact that he was able to turn his season around with a new role, adjusting to coming off the bench for a long period and then back in the starting lineup, really just having fun playing basketball and being at peace out there." Klay leaves Sacramento, possibly Warriors, with sour taste in mouth. 7 hours before Tuesday night's tip-off in the NBA play-in tournament between the Warriors and Sacramento Kings at Golden One Center, Klay Thompson tried his best to convince reporters his uncertain future wasn't on his mind whatsoever. "Nah. That's life, man," Thompson told reporters. "I've had so much success here, I'm not going to let whatever the future happens make me salty about everything I've accomplished in a Warriors jersey. I don't let that seep in at all." If the Warriors' 118-94 loss to the Kings was Thompson's final game in a Golden State jersey, every second he spent on the court was hard to watch. Thompson couldn't handle the Kings' physicality offensively. On defense, the Kings targeted him, and players blew right past him. His signature picturesque shot was unrecognizable, sadly fading into the night. Thompson took 3 shots in the first quarter. He missed all 3. Another 2 attempts were unsuccessful in the second quarter, making him 0 of 5 in the first half with 3 missed three-pointers. The second half was just as bad. With the Warriors down 15 points, 91-76, going into the final 12 minutes of a season that sure seemed to have finally closed the book on a dynasty, Thompson had taken 8 shots and missed all 8. None of his 4 three-point attempts trickled through the net. The fourth quarter couldn't save Klay. One of the greatest shooters the game has ever seen, and ever will see. Let it fly 2 more times. Both were behind the three-point line, and both clanked off an unkind rim. Thompson's final stat line, 32 minutes, 0 points, 0 of 10 shooting and all 6 threes failing to find their home. Walking across half-court with the Warriors down 26 points and 2+ minutes to go after a Keegan Murray three, Thompson dropped his head and began slowly walking to the Warriors' bench. Reality had fully set in. Klay knew his night was done, and possibly his career in blue and gold. Steve Kerr emptied the Warriors' bench, where 4 future Hall of Famers, Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green and Chris Paul, sat and stared. "It was tough. I love Klay so much," Kerr said after the Warriors' loss. "What he's meant to me in the 10 years we've been together. I've watched him the last couple of years fighting the feeling of devastation from injuries. I've watched him this year really flip his season around with his approach and saw him really enjoy the second half of the season and play with a little more freedom, a little more joy. Tonight was tough to see him struggle." Steph Curry reacts to Klay Thompson's possible Warriors exit. Basketball fans possibly witnessed the end of an era on Tuesday, April 16, as the Warriors flamed out of the play-in tournament with a 118-94 loss to the Kings. The biggest talking point coming out of the loss was the performance of Klay Thompson, who missed all 10 of his shot attempts and sat on the bench with a blank stare during the waning seconds of the ball game. Thompson, an unrestricted free agent in July, could be suiting up for a different team next season. But his fellow Splash brother, Steph Curry, isn't ready to bid goodbye yet. After the April 16 game, Curry defended Thompson's performance. "Everybody's going to talk about one game," Curry said, via Associated Press. "I know he wanted to play better. I know he's a true champion. We all prepare ourselves to play our best when the lights are bright. When it doesn't happen, nobody needs to tell you anything." Coach Steve Kerr echoed similar emotions as Curry, making it clear that he can't imagine a Warriors locker room with Thompson. "We need Klay back," Kerr said, via The Athletic. "I know he had a tough night tonight, but what he represents for us, the spacing, but Klay's presence means so much to the spacing on the floor, to the flow of the offense. He's still got good years left. And I know I speak for everybody in the organization, we want him back," Kerr added. "What Klay has meant to this franchise, as good as he still is, we desperately want him back." Draymond Green, the other member of the Warriors' famed Big Three that helped them win 4 championships, is also hopeful to see Thompson back for the 2024-25 season. "He has a decision to make," Green said, via Associated Press. "He's going to make the best decision for him. The team has a decision to make. They'll make the best decision for the team. I don't think there's any scenario where Klay leaves, and that's the best scenario for this team of organization. They did right by me. They've done right by Steph. They've done right by all of us." Green then brought up the fact that Golden State offered Thompson a 5-year, $190 million max contract in July 2019, despite the sharpshooter going down with an ACL injury in the 2019 NBA Finals against the Raptors. The defensive ace believes the Warriors would once do right by Thompson and offer him a lucrative deal. Thompson has a lot to ponder about until July as he finds himself in unfamiliar territory. Save for the injury years of 2020 and 2021, the Warriors have routinely made deep postseason runs since 2013. For the first time in years, Thompson will get to sit back and watch other teams battle for a shot at winning the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Perhaps watching the playoffs unfold could influence Thompson's free agency decision. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Klay Thompson? Leave your opinion in the comments.